welcome back. Today we are doing Arduino software. This is episode 2 and we're gonna talk about variables. So let's get started. Before we start, very brief moment. This is very simple. We're just gonna keep it cool, very tight and small because there are loads of variables for Arduino. But these are the basic ones. BasicToPro, it's the name. We're gonna start like beginners and end like pros. So let's keep it easy for a moment. So for the C# programmers, you can see Boolean. Wait, isn't that a bool? Yeah, no, it's a bool, but in Arduino we say Boolean. It's a little bit more, but actually it doesn't really do a thing. But what is a Boolean? It's actually just true or false, 1 or 0, or true or false, high or low. These things in capital letters, of course. They aren't lighting up like blue or something because I'm describing with the double dash. But that's a boolean. We will use that to make a LED blink or something. That's very handy to check the status of something. Next up, we have a char character. Very easy. It's just actually one simple letter of something. I actually don't really use it a lot. I most likely use strings because you can't make like stupid mistakes with it. But chars are sometimes used to decode some phrase and you want to make something special with it. Like decoding a word and trying to make it all numbers. You can do that with a char. Next up we have the string. What's a string? Actually just multiple chars in a row and you make words. What's a byte? Well, last episode I was talking about as small as possible and I would use a byte or a bit. I'm not gonna say something about a bit because it's actually a little bit like a boolean, but a byte is a number from 0 to 255. It's small in comparison with the integer that has like ginormous range. So you can see an integer, I thought it was 8 bytes or 4 bytes you use for one integer variable. And a byte was only 2 or 4. Well, you get the point. Byte is only half of it. A long is actually one step bigger than an integer. I don't really recommend it because it's a lot of bytes. It's filled with it. Look at this. It's like minus 2 million till plus 2 million. It's ginormous. But next up, we're gonna do something for the people who like to do math with the Arduino. You can use a float and you can get like decimals like 1.9 or 2.3, and it can range also like pretty damn huge. I thought it had, yeah, about the same value as a long, but that doesn't matter because float is most likely used to multiply. And the last thing I would like to say, it's actually not a real variable, it's more like, yeah, it is actually. So I'm just gonna say it to the point. It's an array. And how do we write an array? Actually pretty easy. If you want to make an array and you know about how big the numbers will be in the array, so like an instance, I would like to make a list of zeros and ones. So I would say I take a boolean and then you take those brackets and now we have an array. Most likely we would add like a number, say 9, and now we know we have 9 sectors, so 9 places in a list to put them, to put a 1 and a 0. We can also say int for integer and we say 9 once again, and then we have 9 places to fill with a number ranging from minus 30,000 till 30,000, like here. I'll make a quick and brief example. Let me take two. It's gonna be a little bit weird what I'm gonna do here, but it's actually pretty normal. You just have to think a little bit like logical. So I'm gonna make an array of two spots, and let me say it's a boolean, so I can only use ones and zeros. 0, 1. And now comes the weird part. You would say this is sector 1 and this is sector 2 of a list of two numbers. No, it isn't. This is sector 0, this is sector 1. You have two spots, sector 0 and sector 1. So it's actually always, when you use 9, you actually have spots 0 till 8. It's a little bit confusing, but you'll get here. So these are all the variables we will use, and next episode, I'll do the first program for you guys. It will be a little bit tricky if you don't have any kits with you, like a button to use, some resistors, those things. You'll need them. You can't do anything with the Arduino if you don't have them, so go look for them. That's one thing. What else? Yeah, what we can do, I will make some videos that don't require anything external from the Arduino. That's called a serial monitor, and that's with, no, I can't open it. It's a little program that communicates between Arduino and the computer. I will learn you guys how to use that. That's another thing that's pretty advanced, but we'll get there. So I hope we'll see you guys in the next episode, and hopefully we'll get started programming something really nice.